Hi, I am Stephanie J. Block.
And I'm Mary Lee Fairbanks.
Welcome to Season 5 of Stages Podcast,
where we go behind the scenes and beyond the resume.
Join us as we talk to some of the greatest talents from theater, TV, film, and more. And then check out stagespodcast.net for past episodes, merch, and so much more.
and love where you are now.
Have we personally met like in the same space?
I don't think so.
I've seen you in real life because my hubs, Sebastian Arcellis, you won't remember.
Oh, yeah.
This, but you guys did Bloody
Bloody.
Andrew Jackson. Yes,
Exactly.
Bloody.
Yeah.
That was an excellent
I think
show.
he was doing Wicked with you at the time, maybe? I think he was Fiyero at the time because I was like, oh my God, that guy's on Broadway. It was so exciting. Where are you, by the way? You look like you're in like an idyllic country.
I am.
estate.
I live on a farm in Massachusetts. With goats and chickens and dogs.
You have goats?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She makes soap and everything. Like, what is this woman? What
Goat's
is this
milk soap.
homesteader?
If you send me your address, I'll send you a bar.
Oh my God. That is the dream.
I love a story about an underdog. I think we all do. Those stories give us hope. They remind us that life is filled with possibilities as long as we can hold on to our dreams. Today's guest has that underdog story. He was kicking around the acting world for years. He'd done loads of guest appearances on great shows like 30 Rock and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Community. He worked on Broadway and off in Bloody Andrew Jackson, Silence, the musical, Bright Colors, Bold Patterns, and Heartbreak House. In 2022, he gave an unsettling performance that I watched last night as a serial killer, Gideon Whiteley, in the American Horror Story. It was a stark contrast from his usual comedic and improvisational performances. Also that same year, he was cast as Joel on the HBO Peabody Award-winning series Somebody Somewhere. Joel is kind and empathic and deeply human. He is the heart of that show. And after years of underdogging, today's guest won the Primetime Emmy Award for his touching performance as Joel. I loved his speech, and I love when the underdog wins. This year, 2025, he has played the role of Mr. McQueen in the New York City Center's Encores revival of Urinetown, and he released a memoir, Actress of a Certain Age, My 20-Year Trail to Overnight Success. I started the book last night, and I just want to warn you that you should have a small snack before you begin, because the first chapter talks about food, and I ate 2 cannolis. So I recommend...
But have you reached the butthole chapters yet? 'Cause maybe you'll stop eating then.
No, yeah,
Okay.
it's not good.
Okay, yeah.
So I do recommend a snack before we start. Anyway,
Okay.
please welcome to Stages Podcast, Jeff Hiller.
Jeff Hiller to stage, please. Jeff, would you join us on stage?
Oh, first of all, when you were starting to read that intro, it was like, you know how like you sometimes will take a goal-taking class or goal-making class and you'll write out in a paragraph form like what you want your life to be. That's what it felt like. I was like, oh yeah, this is the dream. Like that's how that was really quite moving actually. Until we got to the part where I made you eat 2 cannolis and then I talk about buttholes.
Seriously, it was like 7:00 last night, and I turned the book on. I'm like, God damn it! Now I have to go eat cannolis.
With that Emmy, Jeff, is it just kind of part of your story, or right now is it my life was pre-Emmy and now this is a huge milestone, and now you think the rest is going to be post-Emmy? What does that look like to you? That sort of career roadmap?
Well, I mean, I kind of thought like, come Monday morning, I'd be getting all sorts of offers.
I'll be fielding the offers.
Sorry, Harrison Ford, I'm taking all your roles.
Exactly. I'm Indiana Jones. That hasn't really come to fruition just yet. I mean, I've gotten a lot of offers to like host a gala and like be on a podcast, but I haven't really gotten any offers about like being an actor, which I hope changes soon. But I don't know. I feel like the biggest thing about the Emmy, it's so beautiful how supportive people, and I think it's what you were saying, Mary Lee, where it's like I was an underdog, like nobody thought I was going to win. Certainly, I didn't even think I was going to win. and so I think people are like excited about that, but also I've just felt like I don't, we all have like imposter syndrome and whatever, low self-esteem. That's why we're actors, maybe. Totally. and I feel like I have felt so embraced by my other comedian friends and by Broadway people and by other TV guest star people. And I just felt like so a part of a community that I'd always been like, I'm not really one of these people. And now I feel like I am. Because because of the award, but because of how people reacted.
Yes, because we all are. I think a lot of our guests have spoken about this sort of dichotomy about being wildly insecure. That's why we're in the business. But you also have to have a bit of an inflated ego just to keep going. Like you have to keep pumping yourself up. You have to keep saying you are worthy. That mantra has to keep going. But when other people recognize that and start cheering the cheer that you've been cheering in your head for 20, 30 years or whatever, we all lift up and recognize not only you, but ourselves. Now, again, sorry, Harrison Ford, you may not feel this because it happened to you like in your 20s, but most of us ride that journeyman story. Do you know what I mean? So whether you wanted it or not, you are now like this beacon of inspiration to just keep trucking and slogging on. If your spirit looks in the mirror and goes, I still love what I'm doing. And everybody's telling me to be two computers, but my soul is saying you are an actor or you're a comic or you're a musician. You just got to keep trucking on.
And if you have decided like, this is no longer the life I want, I'm fully supportive. Yeah, that's totally different. But yeah, if you're doing it because when I turned 40, I just had this big feeling of like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Like, is this embarrassing that I keep trying? And I kind of felt like, remember on American Idol when they would show the person who couldn't sing in the first few episodes? And they'd always be like, I'm going to show you how I can sing. And then they'd sing and everybody would be like, what an idiot.
You're like, am I that guy? And I don't know that I.
Yes, that's how I felt, where I was like, is this embarrassing? Like that I think I can do this. But I also was like, I can't give it up. I'm too passionate about it. I couldn't stop.
I also feel like you were fed along the way. Do you know what I mean? Like there was enough nourishment and encouragement that you're like, I'm on the right track. All these people can't possibly keep casting me if I'm
can't all be a mistake.
Delusional.
I mean, over the last few years doing this podcast, we're always shocked at the people who suffer from imposter syndrome, Like when Shoshana Bean comes on and she's like, oh, I totally have imposter syndrome. Like, dude, seriously? Like, come on.
Oh my God. That is wild.
Yeah. So I think we've sort of boiled it down to when people have that craving for expression that a lot of actors have, like you're not in it to be famous. You're not in it to win awards. You're in it because you have no choice but to practice that self-expression. Right. I think those are the people that really suffer from the imposter syndrome because you just can't keep nourishing yourself with vision boards and writing out your goals, and after a while you do need some outside source to say you're on the right track.
It's amazing to me that season 3 was so much about manifesting. Like that was an underlining theme in season 3. Isn't that something? And I thought, do you in your life, Mary Lee and I manifest all the time. Is that something you practice to or prescribe to?
Yeah. I mean, like with Joel, with his vision board, like I was like, oh, he's really like me. And then I showed up on set and I was like, oh wait, they're kind of making fun of vision boards. And I was like, oh yeah. Dummies who do vision boards.
No, in the end, she comes around to
She comes
Joel.
around.
Joel's
She
the
does.
beacon. Joel's the beacon. You know,
Yeah,
what I love
I
about
totally
the show,
manifest all the time. All the
I
time.
do
All the
too. I
time.
mean, always. But what I love about that show is it's sort of like a what the world needs now show. Like there's just a few of them out there. There's like Ted Lasso and your show, Schmigadoon, like these happy, feel good
Schitt's Creek.
shows. Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, your music sound to me a lot like Chick Creek.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it
yeah.
do you know if it's the same composer?
It's not. No,
It's
no.
not. The transitions are similar.
Canadians, but yeah.
And
no,
they're all about like older, as you said, sweaty middle-aged people. And like they're not about youngins. It's about older people that have had experiences and knockdowns, but yet they won't lose their indomitable spirit and then they win in the end. I love the show. I think it's so wonderful. And I love when shows like that get the recognition because it keeps your faith in humanity. Kind of
Right.
thing. People are out there looking for something good,
Yeah.
kindness.
Did
Yeah.
you know what direction the show was going to take when you read that first episode? Did you know it was going to be like a slower plot, but all about characters and the sort of real life entrenchment of being human?
Sort of.
Sort of.
I read it and I was like, and every episode will end with choir practice and we'll sing a song. And
You thought it was Glee.
I did. I kind of thought it was like, yeah, that part
Sweaty
was,
middle-aged Glee.
Yeah.
sign me up.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I was a little bit wrong about that. But I knew it was character based, and I knew it was less plot focused, and I knew it was more about connection and humanity. But I also thought it was gonna, and it probably would have. I thought it was gonna be a lot more about the family, but we lost Mike Haggerty, sweet Mike,
Oh yeah.
before season 2, and so I think they had to shift a lot, and it made it much more about friendship in addition to the family. I mean, it was already about that.
Do you guys actually go to Manhattan, Kansas to film? Did you go there?
Not to film, no. We
Just
did go
the
there.
establishing shops would be there and stuff.
Mhm,
Yeah.
exactly. But then we went there for the finale, and it was like, oh my God, that was just like a weekend of weeping. People came out and I always say it's like that lyric and title of show. Normally I have to explain what title of show is, but
Not
you all
here,
got it.
baby. Not here.
But when they say 9 people's favorite thing rather than 100 people's 9th favorite thing, I feel like our show,
Was their
it's
favorite
a small
thing.
group, but they love it and
Yes.
are so moved by it and so seen by it and so touched by it. And there are like trans people who have moved to Manhattan, Kansas to start a business. I mean,
Really?
it's like, it was so overwhelmingly beautiful to meet people who loved the show so much. And it was so great. And Manhattan is like, really cute. And
I wish there was another season.
I know.
Can we start like a write-in campaign? Come on, listeners, let's start writing in. to
there is
HBO.
a what do you call it?
There's a
Change.org.
petition? There is. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there is.
should
Sign
going.
common sense gun laws, and let's also bring back.
I know. I don't know how much change.org actually does, but whatever.
You
Give
never
away your
know.
email.
You never know. My friends actually lived in Manhattan, Kansas. One of my nearest and dearest. His name is Dana Rimmer Cranford, and his husband, Jerry J. Cranford, was the musical theater professor over at Kansas State U. And their classes would be like 8 or 9 people, and he would put on these extraordinary productions. And much like your show, just try to push the limit enough,
Right.
try to open up people's minds and people's hearts enough.
Right.
But it was interesting to see like those just little vignettes or, little establishing shots. Where I was like, oh, that's what they were talking about, that little whatever store, church, post office. So
Yeah.
I felt like I got to have like a little piece of my friend also.
Yeah.
But Bridget's from there.
Yeah. And that's why it's so specific. That's why we go to the chef, because there is that restaurant exists, and Manhattan Brewing Company exists, and all those great places are real.
So Bridget Everett, when she was doing a lot of cabaret in New York, and she wrote this show for herself.
She didn't write it. She
didn't write it.
She got a deal with HBO, and these writers, Hannah Boss and Paul Thoreen, who they did that theater company called the Debate Society, off Broadway. And they did a lot of really cool like off Broadway plays, and then they created it specifically for Bridget, but
I see.
not for me. I just auditioned.
And it just came to you through an audition.
Yeah. I knew Bridget because we used to. Did y'all ever do Our Hit Parade or ever hear about Our Hit Parade?
I've heard of it. I never did it.
Yeah. So I used to. She hosted that, and I did it a few times, and so she's just. I mean, when I read it, I was like, I think they wrote this for me. It's just like me. But then they were like, no, we didn't.
No. Next. Thank you.
Exactly. And like several people have been like, oh yeah, I auditioned for that. And I'm like, you know.
Stop it. What a monster.
And we will be right back.
I want to talk a little about your childhood and growing up in such a religious background. And, listening to your book, you're so open and honest about some of those struggles and how you thought you would be a pastor and you kept trying to help people and squeeze yourself into a world that you thought was more appropriate, than acting. Yeah. And can you talk a little about that? And
I wanted to be an actor truly since I was 4 years old, and I watched the movie E.T. and my mom said that they were actors, and I was like, but they're my age. And so I always wanted to be an actor, but I just didn't think you could be. Like, I didn't know anybody who had moved to New York. I grew up in Texas, and we didn't know anybody who was an actor I didn't even know anybody who like read books. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't an arty place. And so I didn't know you could be an actor. And what I really loved was I loved church. I was really bullied. I know it's shocking, but I was really bullied at school. And so church was like a place where people were nice to me. And our church was like kind of somewhat progressive. And it was all about like a food bank and clothing drives and making sure, yeah, exactly. It was so much focused on service. And so I loved that part of it. I loved helping people. I loved the community of it. And I loved like the theatricality of it, like people
Pastors
wear
are
costumes.
actors.
Exactly. And they like stand up on the altar. And I was like, yeah, places, let's get the playbills, so I loved all of that stuff. And for me, like, this is so naive, but it wasn't until I finally came out at 21 years of age where I realized like, oh, the church doesn't really like gay people. And I was like, the church doesn't really like me. And so it's ridiculously naive, but that was kind of the first time I realized like there was some hypocrisy in like the organizational part of the church. Mm-hmm. And so that's when I was going to be a pastor and I was majoring in theology. And that's when I was like, maybe I'll pull back from that. But even then, I didn't know you could be an actor. So I went and was a social worker for a few years. And then finally, I told everyone I was coming to NYU to get my master's in social work. But really, I knew I was going to be a star.
Showbiz, baby.
Yeah.
But that empathy part, right? That's all we're striving to do as storytellers, is to be like, totally. I see you. I'm going to try to jump into your shoes and tell that story. So there's so much practical love and craft that you learn just being around a whole host of different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Because I wanted to be a nun, Jeff.
Oh, you would have looked so chic in your little thing.
I mean, this might be, look at this.
And like when they don't have the full habit, but they just have the little thing.
Oh, they're so sassy. Yeah. No, there was a nun. Her name was Sister Sarah Shrewsbury. And she like played the acoustic guitar. And then she had like velvet paintings in her office of Elvis and John Wayne. She was just the wildest. She was the coolest.
That's
altar girls.
That's the kind of cool, like that, like those nuns, she might have like, well, it wouldn't be Jesuit because that's priest, but
I love like Jesuits.
Yes, like the ones who are all about service and about like feeling called and the singing nun. Remember?
Yes. And like and she actually was this person that loved all people. Like she felt like the body of Christ was in all of us, and we were all sinners, but God made us in His image, and therefore, and so at a young age, I was like, oh, that feels right to me, you know. And then of course institutions, money. whatever comes into play,
It's a really
tarnishes that
interesting thing
idea.
because my husband grew up in the Jesuit community, big time.
Oh.
He went to Scranton University. It's all Jesuit. He grew up with all the priests. And so his whole life is about service. That's all we ever hear about in this house is you have to do something bigger than yourself. My poor son's like,
You're
I
doing
don't know.
it.
I
You're
don't know
making
what to
soap.
do. I'm making goat
You're
soap.
washing the masses.
With goat milk.
It's so beautiful. Truly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's not. The biggest thing I do is rescue dogs. That's the biggest thing I give back.
Important. Have
But-
you noticed that everything we've talked about is in somebody somewhere? The
Yeah,
church, the
it's
figuring
true.
out, the dream boards, the rescuing animals. Guys, it's all in there. All of
there.
life.
It's all there. But what I think is really sad is because like I don't go to church. You guys don't go to, well, Stephanie, you still do, but
I
my
do.
son has never been to a church. This young generation, I think, is searching for that community that they're really lacking.
There's this amazing place in Brooklyn that they had me come out and read my book there, and I thought it was a bookstore, and it's not. It's a dinner church, and it's a church where people gather over a meal. They do it on Sunday nights. It's called St. Lydia's. It's in like Cobble Hill. It's so cute, and you don't have to. It's not about like you have to believe in this doctrine or whatever. Like you
Right.
get
It's just
you get to
fellowship.
discuss it and talk about it, and it's fellowship, and it's this beautiful way to have an IRL community,
Yeah.
and where
Which
you
is
gather,
necessary.
yeah, and you break
And to
bread
learn
together.
how to
and-
discuss things together again, to
Yeah.
learn how to have different opinions, but in a civil way and have
Right.
conversations and
I
learn
mean,
to
this is a
grow.
very progressive church too, so that
Yeah,
helps.
but relegate, the word relegate means
Mhm.
to gather, to commune. It is the gathering of people. And then, it all more. Sometimes I'm
Look at
smart, sometimes I'm really
this.
smart.
Oh, giving us Latin, honey.
Just saying, honey, that I think it's right. I think there is a lack of gathering. And whatever the 8 to 20 people that gather together and speak to each other and connect on a real personal level,
Right.
that's healing. That is religion. That is coming together in a unifying way, IRL, that we so need. So
Yeah.
need.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
really lacking right now, for sure.
I know.
For sure.
Did I
I'm
sound
gonna-
really young when I said IRL?
Yes. I had to go through my old lady Rolodex and be like, IRL, in real life, in real time.
As soon as I
Yep,
said it,
yep,
I was
got
like,
it.
is that right?
When you do improv and or stand up, are you partial to one or the other?
Oh, I get more nervous doing stand up, but I love both of them. But I
Stand-up
like doing
feels
stand up.
terrifying.
Yeah, well, more than that, it's like you really are alone. There's no community, and you're very like it's very much like I could biff it. I could biff it every year. Whereas
Okay.
What
improv,
it feels
I've done
like to
so
me is
much.
like when people come to see you in a cabaret or they're like ready to embrace you, but when they come to see you
Right.
in stand up, they're like prove it. That's what it feels
Well, it's
like to
true.
me.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So and that terrifies
And you know, like
me.
when you do a play that's maybe not so good or a musical or
Yes.
whatever, and you're like, well, I
Oh.
did the best I could do,
Yeah,
But when
right.
it's like, I wrote this too,
Yeah,
It's you.
exactly.
there's like no,
You're
there's no being
naked.
like, I polished the turd,
Yeah. Yeah. No, you
Exactly.
made the turd and you decided to serve it on a silver platter where people paid money.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry you
yeah,
paid. Yeah.
I
totally.
know, $64 for the stinky turd for an hour. I'm so sorry. You're not getting it back, people.
Oh,
I learned something. Sadly, you did not. And my next audience will get a better show, but whoopsies.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you
Thanks
script
for coming.
stuff or do you just write ideas and then let the hour take you on a ride?
I script it, but then I will often improvise little things, and I always record it because I'm like, oh, I found something new that's really funny, and then I'll
Yeah.
incorporate that in the next show and stuff.
I'm going to say this one's a storyteller. She does, is it called The Moth? Where you
The
sing-
yeah.
Moth and
Yeah.
Oh, I used to host the Moth, the Story Slams
Oh,
in
you're
LA.
yeah. Well, you know, it was really interesting because when we started this podcast, I was suffering from horrible imposter syndrome. I had
Really?
performed, I could perform and sing in front of thousands of people. It didn't bother me because I didn't write it. It's what
Right.
we're talking about, right? I
Right.
didn't write it. So if it was bad, well, it wasn't on me. But when we were doing this podcast, I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to say anything because I have nothing important to say and no one wants to hear anything I
Mhm.
say. And I would edit myself out of all the podcasts in the beginning. I would say like
Oh,
two things and it was like
I sounded
Stephanie.
so selfish. It was just
And
all me. I was like,
so
girl.
so one of my friends was just like, you have to figure this out because it's going to fail if you don't show who you are.
yeah.
So I did the scariest thing I could think of when I signed up for some moths and
That's
went,
so great. I love
yeah,
that you
Brave,
did
right?
that.
I did, and then I finally won, and I went all the way to the end. And then PBS called me and had me come on and do their stories from the stage. So then I was like, all right, so I got the storytelling thing. I get it
Lean
now,
in. I'm gonna
Yeah,
lean
but that's
in.
what it was. It was like
Yeah.
you have like I think we all come to these spots in our life where you have a choice, right? You can sit
Yeah.
back to what you know, where you're comfortable, where you have that little nagging whisper that you've been ignoring, or you
Uh-huh.
can say, what's the worst thing that can happen? Or as I like to
Right.
say now, what's the best thing that can happen? What's the best thing?
Right.
And
Right.
I'm just gonna do that. I don't say what's the worst thing anymore. Like, what's the best thing that can happen? And it just
You
completely
achieved.
shifts the energy.
You
Yeah.
both achieved the best thing. I mean, the Emmy in the television world is the best thing. You did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That show, and it just and you deserved it. The show was so great.
So
So
great.
great.
I know, but also you know this. You all won the best award and
I did. I have just, little.
right. Oh, please. Although I was
Something.
talking to Cole and I didn't know you didn't get to take it home the night you win it.
No,
That
I
you have to-
did.
Oh, really? He
I
We
oh
did.
had
they
this conversation, Steph. I asked
Yeah,
you that, and you said
because
you
I
couldn't
remember
remember.
bringing it to the Carlisle and you had to put it through security. Then it disappears. Whether it's like the Tuesday of your first performance or something like that, they take it away to engrave it.
oh.
And then, like a month later or something,
Oh,
it comes
yeah.
back to your care. But I do remember having to put it through security, unless I made that up. And you know what? That's a real thing too, where your brains
Yeah.
literally
I had to
shape
put I had to
whatever
put mine
Positive.
memory.
through security and
So
it
that is
comes
a
in
real
a
thing.
little
Okay.
coffin and it went, I mean, I don't have a Tony, but my Emmy went through and through the airport security and you could just see the Emmy complete outline.
Did they stop you? Or no, they knew
It
what
just
that
goes,
was.
congratulations.
Oh, that's so great. I
It
love
was
that.
sweet.
Okay, so you brought up Cole Escola. So I have to ask you, what are they like? Because from the outside, I was so happy when they won the Tony because it's complete authenticity and originality that's getting recognized and rewarded, and I loved that. So what is Cole like?
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm like best friends with Cole. I don't want to like be like,
But you
I'm
didn't
me
you
and
do
my
some stuff
dear friend
together?
Cole. We did. I do know them and I love them, but but like their best friend and one of my best friends is the same person, Jen
Okay.
Harris, who is
Okay.
currently in O'Mary right now. And so I mainly meet them via Jen. But they are, like when you meet someone and you're like, oh, you could do nothing else. You are such an artist. Your brain is on a whole different plane of
Yeah.
existence.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Like I never once was like, oh, Cole, I don't know if Cole will make it. I not even I also like before O'Mary, I was like, oh, Cole's huge. Cole's famous. So then,
that's
and then
funny.
with O'Mary, it's like, wow, you're really famous.
Oh, I
But the
just love
amazing
them.
thing is, they have always created outlets in order to stay present, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
presence always kind of just be there, whether it was online or
Right.
with
Like
their
during the
talent.
pandemic,
You would never.
they did a whole hour-long sketch show in their apartment.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I was
And-
like, oh, I'm going to just sit over here and watch TV and eat food.
And the beauty of that is you go, okay, we expect them to be so successful on the fringe just because they're so wild, they're so
Right.
out there, they make you laugh. It's almost like watching Robin Williams do Mork from Ork, right?
Yeah.
You've
Yes,
never
yes,
seen
it's very much
anything
like Robin
it,
Williams. Yeah.
right? And you go, I don't know what I'm watching, but
Yeah.
I'm mesmerized. I'm
Yes.
laughing my ass off, but I can't explain why.
Yeah.
And I don't know what genre of comedy this is. But you expect them to have great fame on the fringe, but their success on like the commercial main stage without ever being commercial
Yeah.
is they didn't just make a footprint in the sand. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
claiming that
Yeah.
piece of land as their
100%.
own. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
know.
know
Totally
many
correct.
people that have
I
been
would-
able to do what they've
I
done.
just went to see it again. I've seen it 4 times. And
Oh
I
my
just went to see it
gosh.
again and I was like, oh my gosh, there's just like tourists here and like moms out for a fun night.
And you're like,
and
how
this
is
is
this
like-
okay? And
this
yet
is
it
like-
is wildly okay.
Exactly. It's like this weird downtown piece, you know?
Which part takes you most by surprise where you're like, I can't believe I'm laughing at this right now?
Oh,
Oh, in the show? Well, when Cole was in it, there was, there's that time when Mary's on the desk and she can't get down and she's like trying to find how do I get down. And then Booth pushes her off of the desk and she just flies off. And Cole is tiny. And so when James Scully pushed them off, they just went flying down. And I was like, that is physical comedy. That is a scary push. That was so crazy. I loved it. I loved
I
it.
loved it.
God.
And you're not tiny. How tall are you?
No, I'm not tiny. I'm 6'5".
That's remarkable.
Big legged lady.
You would have been an imposing pastor. I mean, an imposing pastor.
I would have been. I probably would have been like really hunched over.
But your husband's not a big guy. How'd you meet him? How'd you meet your husband?
Oh yeah, we met. Well, he's actually 6'1", so he's
Wow,
not
okay.
tiny. He
Yeah,
just looks
so
tiny
he's-
because I'm so
Mhm.
big.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I always say like when we're in the mirror, I'm like, it's like I'm a Barbie and you're a GI Joe. It's like just a bigger mold. We met on what was called chemistry.com, which was like, it was kind of like eHarmony, but they let gay people do
Okay.
it. So it was
But
like
you
you
still had to
answered
fill out, like, 30 page-
150. Yes, it was like so many questions. And then communicating back and forth, you had to like write essay questions to each other. It was like,
Oh.
people are always like, oh, website? What was it? Manhunt? I'm like, no, it was like Victorian. It was not.
My dearest love. How I've
Exactly.
missed you these fortnights.
do you remember what your essay was?
Yeah, you had sent 2 essay questions. I sent you get to choose one and then you made up one. And the one I made up, I remember, which was like, what was something in your life that you thought would happen that, like a change in your life something you had always planned to do that you realized wasn't something there. And his was describe your perfect New York City day.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And did it end up at the MoMA? Because he's a visual artist, yes?
He is. He's a visual artist. And
Smart.
yeah, I will say like pre-Neil, I don't go to that many museums. But
Yeah.
post-Neil, honey, I am museum savvy.
Well versed.
Because he's in the permanent collection at MoMA. And so we have
Oh, really?
we have membership until 2099. Like you have a 100-year membership. And then, we're members at the Whitney now and members at
But his video installation was one of the very first sort of using that media, right? And it being classified as like fine art, yes?
I don't know if it was one of the very first. I think they even did it in the 70s.
What are you
and stuff.
doing? You say yes, and you are best friends with Cole.
Yes,
like,
and.
can you please? What is
Yes,
happening,
and what is
Jeff?
wrong? What kind of an improv artist are you? It's yes,
I
and.
mean, pump it up.
My need to be
Sister.
authentic is competing against my need to just say yes. Yes, he was the first video artist of all time. Ever. He did this piece called She's a Talker, where and this was in 1992, and video art was like very big in the 70s. That's why I say that. But like,
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. With Andy Warhol and all that. He
Yeah,
videotaped,
yeah.
the kids at his studio.
and then there's
yeah.
there's tons of stuff. And but he had this piece where he had 90 something gay men brushing their cat and saying she's a talker. And it just shows all of these gay men saying she's a talker, and it's like funny and campy and silly, but it was like in the early, very like it was like 1991 or 92, so it was like AIDS was ravaging gay men at the
yes.
time, and so it was like this document because it was also they were all filmed in these men's homes with their actual cat. And he also has this other piece that he has pictures of people who've just missed the subway and he blows them up and makes them look like Vermeer paintings. It's hilarious. But like the one that's the most effective to me, or not effective, but like affecting. He filmed people coming out of the subway, and he has that one moment, like when you come out of a subway that you don't know.
Uptown, downtown.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like looking to orient yourself. And he filmed them, and he just slowed it down, and you see all of these just like interesting, fascinating New York faces taking this slow moment to like look right and left, and they're vulnerable and they're sweet and they're
Just in that split second.
yes, and he just has over and over all of these different types of people, but they all have that vulnerable look on their face, and I like every time I see it I weep. It's so beautiful.
Does he have to get all of them to sign a release and track them all down? And
No,
oh,
No.
really?
no, it's like as long as you're in public, you can do it.
So they legit could be walking
Oh.
through a museum, see an image or likeness of themselves, and
Yeah.
be like, I'm in this
Oh my
museum.
God.
Yeah,
That's
and
wild.
he takes an ethical duty to not ever do anything where somebody looks bad,
Stupid.
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
sure,
whatever.
sure.
But but yeah, I guess you could film people doing that too.
You know, that's really wild. I never thought of that moment being a vulnerable moment as somebody who lived in New York for
Right.
20 some years. That's really like brave and vulnerable at the same time. I
Yeah.
never took that into consideration ever.
Yeah, and you feel like so impressed by these people too. Like it's like, oh, it's brave. It's like you said.
They're
and
doing it. Yeah.
yeah.
And he's
I'll
from
bet
Long
AI
Island,
is
yes?
going to really change the direction of what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, whose direction isn't going to be changed by AI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually moved on to writing, but I guess it'll write too.
Yeah, but not as well. There's a couple.
Good.
It's going to take AI a long time to get the real humanity, and AI
That's true.
can't stand on stage and sing songs and act. So
That's what I think about. I think about live theater, like
Yeah.
movies. Okay, TV. I get how you could make AI actors or whatever, but
Yeah.
you can't be with a bunch of other people watching people up on
and creating
stage.
that real thing. It's a real
But
thing.
that's
It's a
going to be the
a-
campaign, because we as humans are so easily satiated by what's streaming or
Yeah.
what's
Mhm.
easy, and
I
then we
know.
forget what's special.
Yeah.
And so it's just a forgotten. Your palate becomes something else. So
Yeah.
somehow we're going to have to reintroduce them to say
Right.
that this is worth it.
Right.
I-
Well, it's going to
I-
be
I
like
do think the
artisanal
price-
soap. It'll be
Yeah,
artisanal art.
exactly. You're going to want this lather, honey. It is natural. It is
Exactly.
creamy.
This soap
You're
was
gonna
made by
want it.
hand. This theater was made by humans.
Human hands.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not going to be perfect like AI
Yeah.
or as efficient as AI, but
Right,
that's
right.
what makes it special, you know? That
Totally.
night you
Makes it
may
real.
get a turd and then you walk away and that's the story, as opposed to everybody getting the exact same, experience.
It's a real vibration that is created between people on stage, and that thing, you feel what that is as an audience member. That's my favorite thing, is sitting there and literally just feeling that.
Buzz.
It's like it's a vibration that comes out,
Yeah.
and that no machine can make that. It can't. And I think theater's always going to be able to fill that connection space for people. I
Because
just do.
it is spiritual. It is
Yeah, it
church.
is.
It is a
is.
ministry. Like we look at it as such.
It is
True
real.
story.
It is a drug. It is like it's like once you're in, you're like addicted to that drug, and you can't live without that experience.
There is a human connection. Well, there's lots of them in the show. But when your husband Brad is singing to you,
Oh,
oh, Jeff, oh my God.
So much.
First of all, I didn't know much about single camera. Like I had to look it up because my mind, even though Seb does TV and film, my mind, you say single camera, I think it's one camera.
Oh,
and
right.
that's incorrect. But I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder how many times they had to do that. The tears are obviously real.
Yeah.
His emotion, unbelievable. Remind me of that actor's name.
Tim Bagley,
Tim.
he's
Bagley.
so lovable.
the
But
best.
It feels like you are in the room with the two of you, and that intimacy that was created.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it technical, but the artist in me kind of wants to know technically how many times did you have to do it?
Wait,
Did
first,
they
but
try to get it in
explain
one?
single camera, Because I don't really
Sure.
know.
Yeah. Explain single camera to the listeners.
Oh, so like a multi-camera sitcom is like Friends, where it's like it's on a stage where they have 4 different cameras, and so you perform it kind of like a play, and they're filming all of these different angles at the same time. And they might be shooting The Master, which is like the big wide shot, and also shooting close-ups of Jennifer Aniston, and then here's Courtney Cox.
Okay.
Whereas single camera is more like a movie, where it's like you perform this scene from this angle several times, and then you perform it from that angle several times.
Okay.
But and so a lot of times it actually is just one single camera, but for that particular shot, they wanted to, and they were really good about this because this in season 1, when Bridget sang to me, they wanted to get my initial reaction the first time I was hearing the song. So they shot her and me. So they brought in a second camera. And that's what they did with this too. I think we performed it 2 or 3, maybe 3 times, maybe just 2. But here's the thing is that you read it and it was like, he's shy. And so then she sings. And I was like, okay. And then like, and I hadn't really thought like, wait a minute, we know he's not shy because we saw in season 2 that he sings very, very loud.
Right.
But so he had made this beautiful, inspired choice. You know, the writers wanted it too, was that like, he wanted to be, that this was too intimate. And so that's why it was difficult, because it was not just singing a song, it was sharing his actual emotions. And so when he did it and he was so vulnerable, I just started crying. I was like,
oh my God.
And
So did
almost like where I was like, pull it back, Hiller, pull it back.
Get a
But
grip.
when it's real, it's real. You know what I mean? Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. He's an interesting actor in the sense that, you know, we're always told as theater actors, you use your whole body from head to toe. That's your tool. That's how you come across to the audience. And then they always say, scale it down for the camera, but it's not as simple as that, because
I know.
you all are using every part of your body, but there certainly is like an intensity that's happening in the face that I don't know if I've learned or not. But when you are just being rather than, you know, acting,
Right.
it catches those moments. And I think he's really this very centered human being that has been placed in these sort of highly comedic shows, whether it was yours or Friends or Will and Grace or whatever. But he maintains this like eye of the storm type energy, and it's wildly effective. I mean,
and he is, all of the actors on, I don't know if you know Mary Catherine Garrison, but she'd been in like 8 Broadway shows.
oh my gosh.
And she played Squeaky Fromme in Assassins.
Oh my gosh.
And so like all of us had done stuff, but had never gotten to do meaty stuff, you know, or at least not on camera. And so like Tim had so much more to show, and I loved that he got to show it. It's like, how have you just been playing like snippy waiters all this time? Like, you're so incredibly talented. I thought he, especially this season, was so insanely amazing.
Every single episode was insanely amazing and human. And like every character got to grow in just the perfect amount that felt authentic, rather than, okay, let's wrap it up. Let's put the red bow on that storyline and that storyline.
We got it.
Yeah, it never felt like that. Not once.
Yeah.
No,
The Duplass brothers, man.
Yeah.
They know what projects they know. They're a smart production.
And Hannah Boz and Paul Thoreen, who are the showrunners, who they also have a movie called Sideways, I think, and not Sideways. That's
I was like,
that's
wine
that
movie.
Yeah. Not that one.
Driveways.
Driveways. Okay. The password
God.
is
You know what, Jeff?
Driveways.
Maybe do a little research before you start talking. Anyway, because I think they're playwrights, they were really good. And also, I have to say, Bridget was always being like, it's a touch too cutie. It's a touch too cutie. I'm like, let's make it real. And her fingerprints are all over that show. Because
I think we need to bring
it
it to stage, actually. It would be a great show.
I mean, come on.
I agree.
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on. fun.
I
Who do
also
we
just
talk
need
to?
a job. So yes, let's
Who
do
do
it.
we
Off
talk
topic.
to? Let's do it.
And then they
topic.
cast like Chris Colfer as me.
Yeah.
No, we cast you as you.
No. No.
Tell me a little bit about your experience doing Urinetown. I was so bummed. I've actually never seen that show, and I really wanted to see it.
It's the first musical I did since the pandemic, and I was like,
It's a
it was
lot,
like
right?
so hard. Well, because you did, yeah,
I did Brigadoon out there, and I
didn't you
did.
do? You
What
didn't
else
do
did I learn in 10 days? Well, Into the Woods.
Into the
But
Woods. That's what I was
yeah,
going to say.
yeah, not
Um,
at City Center, but on Broadway. But they
oh,
did
you
only
didn't
give
do
us
it
10
at City
days.
Center.
But Lear de
Right.
Bassinet really felt like that particular formula for rehearsing was the magic of why it was so special. So she
Ah.
only allowed us the exact same amount of time as all the actors from City Center. That's all the time we got. Yeah, yeah. So
That's deep.
it was panic inducing.
Yeah. Well, because us also was like every number was a production number. I was like, what if we just like have the notebooks for this one?
But the whole gang has to agree to it, right? I don't know what the rules are anymore. Does the producer say no binders, or can all the actors be like, we are holding binders this one?
They made us hold binders. They said you have to
Oh,
hold it.
interesting.
And I was like, I don't need it for this. And they're like, hold it for
And
this.
Kiala Settle was like, shut up, yo. We are holding binders.
Well, especially, yeah, because she had her open.
Kiala was one of our very first interviews.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was
Aw.
lovely. She was
Boy,
lovely.
did she open up. She really
Yeah.
shared
She
a
was
lot of her
awesome.
guts. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's I think what's really lovely about her is that she is so powerful. Like on stage, you hear her sing and you're like, man. But then like she will be vulnerable and she will just be like super like, this is who I am, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to apologize for it, but I'm also not going to like try and hide it.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Let's chat about the book real quick because
Oh,
I'm
yeah, of
also
course.
interested in personalities that do expose themselves in so many different mediums, whether that is, through stand-up or improv or writing a memoir. Did you feel it was more freeing when it was coming from your pen to paper, or had so many of these stories made it already to stage that it just felt like these are the ones that I want to make sure are bound and published, What did that feel like to you?
Well, many of them were done on stage, and the chapters that I hadn't done on stage previously were definitely the hardest ones to write. But I found it fun, kind of. I mean, there were times when I was like, oh, I gotta finish this chapter and I don't want to. But for the most part, I was like, oh, this is kind of freeing and kind of cathartic. And but then now every once in a while, like somebody will bring something up that I put in the book, and I'm like, oh, how do you know that about me?
Did you have to
because
check in with
I told
anybody?
you.
Did you have
Yes.
to check in with anybody to say, I'm going to tell this story? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I did. And I sent them the early versions. And I even did it for ones that were like, I'm not saying I don't think I say anything too bad about anybody,
No.
but a couple of them, I sent them to and they'd be like, I don't care, whatever. And I was like, just read it. And then like the one about when I go to Shakespeare in the Park and
I
with
love
my
that
friend, I sent it to her. It wasn't like she was like, you're wrong, but like I had said in there, like that she was drinking a cup of coffee and she's like, that's factually incorrect. I've never had coffee in my life. And I was like, oh, well, I remembered things differently.
The
So I was
LDS faith does not allow me to drink.
yeah, exactly. She was like, no caffeine has touched these lips.
Did you find though when you're writing stories? See, I find when I'm telling a funny story, there's a certain rhythm that goes to it. But when I try to put that story on paper, it's very different. It's a really different translation because
Totally.
reading it, you can't. I don't know. It's just a lot harder.
Well, it's because
You
we
can't
started
hear
as
the accents.
performers. Yeah. And you're like, oh, it has to be this cadence. You have to put the emphasis here, So I
And
did a
that-
lot of like all caps on the word you or like
Yeah.
ellipses before I say
And
because I'm
I
like,
sometimes
it's a
feel
pause.
like the rules of good writing don't apply
Yeah.
to the flow of storytelling.
That's very
not memoirs,
insightful.
certainly.
I really agree with you. And
Yeah.
no one else has pointed that out. Yeah.
And I
it's-
struggle a lot with that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I have to say, like, people are always like, I got the audiobook and I loved it. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's probably better as an audiobook.
Well, it's because it's the same thing, not to like minimize it, but when you're writing a text, if it doesn't have your tone, your inflection,
Yeah.
it can be read any sort of way, whatever voice is in your head. But when it is you,
Yeah.
you know, it takes on a completely different life, a completely different humor and weight.
Is that why you always do voice record on your texts?
I
You almost
personally
always
like
do.
them better.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find that if I don't have first of all, people don't pick up phones anymore. You can call
No.
them, and it's just like a total
just rude
invasion
to call
of your
somebody.
day. So yes, when I voice memo, I know that I'm getting to the point. I'm getting to it as kindly and as truthfully as I can. But had I written those words, because
Yeah.
I'm not one to like give a whole like 3-sentence disclaimer that I go, hi, good morning. And then I jump right on into what we need to discuss. But the point is, yes, saying it in one's own voice, I think, is really important. I had the great privilege, I'm hoping it will continue for her second memoir, but to voice Cher's.
I listened to
It
you.
was
Who
not
didn't?
easy. Sister, it was not easy because she has such an interesting meter, and she
Yeah.
pauses on words. She goes up on words. You know,
Yeah.
she just, so
But you do, I mean, I saw the Cher show too, obviously, but you did it kind of in a Cher voice, but that wasn't like
But
a
not really.
caricature of a Cher voice.
couldn't pretend to be her, especially if you're not looking at me or there's no like music to accompany it.
Right.
But I did have to be a little gentler. Her whole thing just kept going, please just be a little gentler, be a little softer, you know. But
I do think you walked that line really well, though. You walked
Thank
it really
you.
well. It was the
Thank you.
perfect
Wait,
blend of
when you
like,
recorded it, she was there listening?
no, but she would
Oh.
listen. She wanted a hand, so she did invite me to come to her Malibu home and to do it in a studio there, and the director was there. And I said yes, but then it wasn't going to work out for a multitude of reasons. And thank God, because she had forgotten she was walking the Victoria's Secret runway for their fashion week. She had forgotten that she was being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So she wasn't even going to be there anyway. So I did it.
Oh, I forgot about
She
the
just
Hall
forgot.
of Fame.
Whoopsies.
Now that's a life.
That is
right?
famous. That's famous. So when I did it locally in California, you know, she wanted to hear bits really early on just to get a sense.
Smart.
And I kept trying to, I only had 5 days to read the whole book. So I told her, I said, I know it's hard to wait, but it's going to take me just a little while to jump in and truly find what's worth for you listening, or else you're just going to give me notes. Those notes are going to be really obvious to me as well, but I wouldn't know exactly how to fix it. So I think it was the end of day 2 that we sent her a couple chapters. She wasn't as happy as we would have hoped. But then she lets a handful of other people that are close in her circle listen. And they all said, no, I think this is absolutely the right way to go with it. And I think the more people
She
she
was probably
trusted.
too close to it too.
How
yeah.
the heck do you hear somebody else read your story, read your most intimate moments in your life, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a real give and take. And
Especially
I
because
can't
that was like a
imagine.
very vulnerable.
She told more things in that first memoir than she had shared in her 60 years. She really felt it was time to tell all the tale, you know?
Yeah.
So you love people's memoirs. Whose are your like all-time faves? Who's
Cher's was up there. I'm serious. Like
pretty great, right?
I also always quote her when she says that she was signing so many autographs that she signed a check, all my love, Cher. I think that's so funny. I love Rosie Perez. I love Rita Moreno. I love Candace Bergen's books.
Oh, I haven't read that one.
They're pretty good.
Okay.
Streisand?
Loved Streisand. I listened to that one too. 48 hours and 15 minutes.
I know.
It's a
Stephanie
lot.
was like, it's been 7 years and the book
Well,
is still
it was
going.
7 years, and then I sped it up to 1 point. Can you do 1.8? I think it was either 1.5,
Yeah.
1.8. I was like, girl, we gotta, you know, because
Well, 'cause
really
she
talks.
speaks very slowly. So when you put it on 1.8, it doesn't sound crazy. She just sounds like she's in What's Up, Doc.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It's okay. It's fine.
Hold on.
All
Oh,
right.
Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields is good too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to do that one too.
Haven't listened to the book, but I did watch the documentary, the special on
Yes.
her growing up and
Yeah.
the sexualization of her being
Yeah.
11 and 12. Like,
And she's so
Crazy.
like well-adjusted
how?
for having
know.
lived that life. It's crazy.
How?
Yeah,
And
I
she's
don't
the
know
president of our union.
I know.
Wow.
And I worked with her once, and then I was the bartender on Watch What Happens Live, and she remembered me. Isn't
Aw.
that amazing?
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
sweet.
special, actually.
I know.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with the 5 questions.
If you are creating your vision board today for your next step, tell me 3 things you're going to put on it.
Um, as a siren goes by, a home that is has nature around it.
Mhm. You can
Um,
come stay in my farmhouse anytime you want.
oh,
Okay.
that sounds dreamy. Writing something for myself, and working with people I love.
Aw.
Okay,
Love it.
beautiful. Okay, if you were a vanity plate, a vanity license plate, what would that plate say?
Boom, boom.
Oh, I love that. Steph, I love that new question. Good
I
one.
told you I was going to surprise you with a little something
I
new.
like that new one. All right.
It is a good one. I've never
A
heard that
good
before.
one. Okay. Just if you could go back to your 15-year-old self, what would you tell him?
Oh, I think I just hug him.
Aw.
That was rough time, 15.
For a lot of us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we're all in the theater.
Yeah, really.
Describe your perfect sandwich.
Oh. You know what I'm really into is like fake meat.
Like
Meat.
lab produced meat?
Oh, not lab, but like, like tofu that looks like
Oh,
chicken.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I like a fried, because I'm a vegetarian, but I like the fake fried chicken sandwich
Oh.
with like pickles and hot honey.
Mm.
Yes to all of that.
If you were a nail polish color,
Oh,
what color would you be and what would your cheeky little name be?
yeah. I think it would be like a very deep, deep purple,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be called eggplant. It would just be called eggplant. It would just be eggplant emoji, and that's it. And I'd be like, hello, winky thing. Yeah.
That's actually, I'm surprised that they haven't like dipped into the emojis at this point. Like OPI, I'm really surprised they haven't used those.
It's good. Yeah, there must be
Here.
copyright or
He's
something.
on to something.
Maybe. You are a complete delight. And I really, this
Thank
time
you.
flew for me.
It
And
flew.
I just want to be your friend.
'Cause I wanted to play an improv game.
Oh.
I told her no. I told her no.
I just wanted to do that where everybody says one word and we make a story.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
was
no.
like, between the headscarves and the sunglasses and the questions at the end, we're not doing an improv game.
She's such a buzzkill.
Good morning. We're
Yeah,
not doing the improv game.
Well, it starts like, hi, my friend. Well, what I'm feeling is that I just don't, that's how it goes. And then
That's-
dive in.
That's tact, and that's why you do the voice memo.
See?
She's so good.
All right.
She's
Go about
talked me
your
down
day.
so many times on that voice memo.
Oh, I love it.
Oh.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such
Thank
an
you.
honor. I'm
Oh, my
humongous fan of you both, and this is very exciting as a, let's face it, a show queen. So thank
Come
you.
on. Congratulations, you. And your signature color is pink. I've noticed.
Because
And
you're
the suit at
right.
the Emmys? Yes.
Oh, yeah,
That
that
was good.
suit.
It's good for you. It's
That was
really good.
I like this.
All right.
It was
Have a
really
beautiful
fun.
Truly,
day. We stay on.
congratulations.
Thank you
Congratulations.
so much.
It was so
Bye.
nice to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
Coming up next, what struck a chord? Oh man, I really liked him.
Truly one of the quickest hour and 15 minutes
I know.
I've ever had.
Well, I mean, and I kept trying to like go, okay, it's time to go to because we just
And I
kept
kept
going on
saying
and
one
on.
more
And
thing.
yeah, and I didn't want to keep him any longer. I'm like, the poor guy.
And I'm like, let's circle back.
He's
Okay,
probably
I'm
hanging
going to
up
change the
going,
channel.
those two just don't shut up.
Well, usually we do. Usually I think we're quite contained and we've got like an outline, but this one really, I mean, we always tout, and I think it's true. We script, but we don't stay on script. So it does
No.
jump
Yeah.
from all over the place. I think that the headkerchiefs really took him. I think it was like immediately, this is who you're dealing with. Are you ready? And he's really ready. I think that's what makes him genius.
Yeah, no, I really, really liked him. I had a feeling that I was really going to like him, just based on his vibe whenever
Yeah.
you see him anywhere.
I like
I
him.
know. I want him to be our new best friend.
Well, I wanted also season 4 and 5 because I think the show really deserves it.
Let's start a petition. I want it too, big
It,
time. We need
it,
more shows like that.
I agree. And when you feel like you can see your friends and your chosen family and characters on TV because writers and producers have been so brave to say, we don't need major cliffhangers after every episode, or we don't need, some traumatic event or an explosion or like you're just settling in with these people on a really cozy couch.
There's a
Yes.
comfort. There's a comfort in not having a cliffhanger and feeling like you're meeting up with friends and catching up.
Yes.
Because I think so much of the world right now feels like a cliffhanger and we're
Yeah.
exhausted by it.
Yeah.
So there's a comfort in having these characters and the plot moves slowly and you're almost watching them grow in real time, like as slow
Yeah.
as any one of us would grow, but yes, you're entranced by the story. So
It's giving more than it's taking. And I'm
Totally.
finding a lot of TV right now takes me on a ride, but then I'm either stressed or exhausted or,
Yeah.
my
No, it's too
belly's
much.
just a little upset. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're recording on September 30th. It has been a year since we lost Gavin. And Gavin is
Oh.
just like, well, he's with us every day, but today is really something. And I feel his presence. So I just want to honor him in that way and
Yes.
just go live your day the way Gavin would. Find the beauty
You know,
in everything.
he's the one who told us about the Everything is Both poem, and I use
Yes.
it almost daily. I think of
Do
that
you?
poem. I think because I think it's really true. Everything is both. And I find myself saying it about everything.
Yep.
It just brings me back, to like a comfort. Yeah, what are you recording for him? Are you guys recording something special?
No, actually, we were going to meet on a Zoom today. I think there is a legion of people that are in order to just chat about it, see how, Gavin is talking to us in our lives on the daily, on the daily basis. It's funny because there was a whole period, like a month, where I just was seeing the word Gavin, the name Gavin spray painted
Yeah.
on walls, and just Gavin was everywhere. And then finally we had a Zoom with some loved ones. They're like, well, you're in California, right? Your governor is Gavin. I was like, oh, shut up. That has nothing to do with
It's destroyed
why
my
are you
happiness
living
bubble.
for joy. No, this isn't about Gavin Newsom, although it totally is. But in my simulated life and what I noticed and took, it was healing for me to see just
Yeah.
Gavin posted everywhere.
Do you
And
have
today-
like another sign that you connect with him? Like I connect frogs with my dad all the time.
Okay, I have no idea if this has any connection to Gav at all, but I will say, since Gav's passing, I will have hummingbirds come right to my face and stare at me, Mama. Stare at me through windows as I'm walking, when I'm watering the lawn. Like it is an it's like a personal connection. And I've always loved hummingbirds. I mean, I do have hummingbird feeders, but the idea that they will come 4 inches from my face and stare at me, I think that's a Gav thing. What does it mean? Are you
Okay,
reading it?
spiritual meaning of hummingbird means it's the symbol of joy, beauty, love, resilience, healing, and hope.
Well,
Which
joy
is
and
all
beauty
him.
right off the bat. That's our friend, isn't it?
Totally.
It is weird. Well, I prayed to him hardcore today because Vivi is on her very first school trip where she's away from us for 4 days and 3 nights.
No way. Ooh.
So she's going to the mountains of Santa Cruz, and she's doing outdoor learning with her class. And so they're doing everything from, looking at redwoods to going to the stream and learning more about marine biology. And
It's going to be a lot harder on you than on her.
he's got to. And we asked her, because we've been very present. We'll either be a chaperone or we'll drive or whatever. And we asked her, and she said, I think I want to do this one on my own. And we said, okay. But how irrationally uneasy I am, completely knowing that she's safe with, her teachers or even her chaperones. Like, she's safe. And this is her jam. Like, this is where my daughter flourishes, is out in nature. And, but I was like, Gav, this is you. I literally need you to just watch over her, protect her, whisper in her ear if she's going, too far to the right, too far to the left on a path. Like, just be with her for these 4 days and 3 nights.
Aww.
And there is a settling to the idea that.
Do you have any communication with the teacher? Is the teacher checking in? Oh, yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
They may send an email or two, but it was, here's your duffel, here's your sleeping bag. Have a good
That's
time.
hard. That's scary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
At 10, it feels hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
And the world is insane. I mean,
it
it's
is.
just insane. So you've got
She's going to be great, though. She's going to come back with a million stories and complete, not even renewed, but a new sense of confidence that you never saw before, because, that's big, 4 days.
I know, but I do feel she's capable. My big thing was, I gave her a little kiss, and I think I told her all the right things as a mother, but I said, if you can remember just a few things for me and come back to tell a few stories. And, if you see a bumblebee, say hi. If you see a beaver, say hi to the beaver. I don't know. I gave her these random fun little wilderness, life to say hello to, just so that every now and then she'll selfishly think of me if she sees a bumblebee or a beaver.
Oh, so sweet. She's going to think of you without the bumblebee. Don't worry, Mama. Don't you worry, Mama.
All right.
All right. I love you.
I love you too.
See you soon.
Stages podcast is produced by Mary Lee Fairbanks and Stephanie J. Block. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Join us on social media pages or sign up for the mailing list at stagespodcast.net. That is also where you will find Stages swag. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share and rate and review the show. It really helps us grow. Big thank you to Noah Kaiserman and Garrett Healy for the original music, and Allison Arns, who has been with us since day one. See you soon.